At the turn of the tide, I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side, I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side, but that's what this mandates. Be it might, an unlikely allegiance, we will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Glorious death. Our goal, our mission is clear, as we rise against a dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging fire. Listen, be the savagery mindset. Not today, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will define our reaction. Rip out the throat of each one in their fashion. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find the
Services has a bundle for all budgets. You can be fully protected with emergency response for just $49.99.
And we are live somehow, some way. This is Braxcast Live once again. We got Rippa HQ in the chat saying that Norfolk the Glory Stuff is an insanely good song. Ram just popped in. Stang's dropping in to say hi. If you're still here, hello to you, Ram. Hopefully you had a good week. Going to have a good weekend. We got Merc Lounge in the chat saying hail to Ram and everyone else. A bunch of you guys are watching on Twitter. I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if Twitter even has like a chat function. But I would recommend you guys coming on YouTube and spamming me with chats. But there is actually a good bit of stuff to talk about today. So we got 3 books, like 3, should I do 3 like that? 3 like that. Like you're watching Glorious Bastards, man. I love that movie. Yeah, it's saying that beard though. Yeah, I last time I got a haircut Thanksgiving, so that was back in November for my mom, and I haven't shaved since then. And if I wanted to go to MEPS, Military Entry Processing Station, I would have had to shave, and I that's the reasons why I didn't do it. And of course, with this war in Iran going on, I think there's an IED in the outskirts of Tehran that has my name on it, but that's me being very fatalistic. Excuse me. But yeah, no, I've been growing it out. So I wanted to keep the beard for the entirety of the winter because when it's this thick, it really insulates the face. So it really helps keep me warm. And plus, I just like it. But I have to shampoo it and comb through it every day. Food gets stuck in it. So whatever. But I think at some point I'm going to get myself cleaned up, especially like my hair. It's not as fixed as it used to be when I was like younger. It was like when I was in I'm 20, so I'm going to be 28 in a couple of weeks at this point. So I'm very solidly in my late 20s. I'm basically 30 at this point. So like my hair is not as fixed as it used to be. My hairline's still good, but my hair is like it's starting to thin out. So eventually I'm going to go bald, which it'll be nice. Won't have to pay for haircuts. And like I'm not attractive. People claim that I am. I don't know what the hell they're what the hell they see in me, because I'm not a pretty face. I'm ugly on the inside and the outside, but it's neither here nor there. You're not here for me to go. Oh, well, you're not here for me to watch Norfolk again. So you're not here. This isn't the self-pity stream. This is the Braxcast Live stream somehow. I got a couple guys, like a good amount of you guys pouring in. So we've got, like I said, 3 books from the Soska Sisters. So Blood Roof number 3 is going to release October 14th, 2026, which is going to be like fantastic. Its reservation cutoff date is the 4th of September. So that's going to be really freaking exciting to get. Basically during that Halloween season, that spooky season. Not much of a Halloween guy, not much of a horror guy, but I do like Blood Roof. That's a good book. I like The Shining. That's a good movie. I think I reviewed that on the Substack. But we got Robert Viacava saying good evening to you as well. I did see that chat. I just forgot to shout you out. But we'll go for this. So this is basically just a continuation. So Blood Roof 3 wraps up Sidney's current arc and plunges you deeper into supernatural terror as the Blood Roof family's darker secrets come back to haunt them. This is horror with heart and consequences that will shake the foundation of everything Sidney thought she knew. This is a 56-pager. The art is by Michael Montanet. That is French, so you don't pronounce the T. And letters by Invisible Art Studios, which basically has become the letterer for the Rippaverse. But that 56-page length has been basically every single pre-order has been that length. So I'm very okay with that. So I think issue 2 is going to be around that length as well. Of course, issue 2 is taking its sweet time in getting here. oh boy. So, but it's cool that number three is going to be releasing just a couple of months after. So we'll probably, I mean, it'll be like what 7-ish months because I can't see it not fulfilling this month. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be fulfilling. So I'm going to be very busy very soon. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I think Eric July and the Soskas retweeted. That's why a lot of you guys are watching on Twitter right now. I got like 100 people watching. So you guys can come into YouTube and give me the watch time. And also like comment and interact. Or I think you guys can comment on Twitter. I guess you guys just don't want to, unless it's just like a bunch of bots. But anyway, we got Garfield in the chat saying hello to you, Garfield. So we're going to check out Blood Roof number 3. So here we go. This is cover A, and this is so the A cover is by BTG. Definitely like this cover here. I mean, the blood's got like kind of like a tentacle feel to it. You know, she's in the swamp. Of course, you know, we do have to love like, you know, that let's see. We gotta love like the get up there. It very much exposes the midriff. So I gotta stay hydrated. But yeah, no, this is definitely a fantastic one. It's really nice seeing Blood Roof getting to that third issue. And of course, that is a fantastic cover. Again, I believe we don't have no more retro covers. We're not doing those anymore. Hopefully they do more of those. But yeah, Brow is doing this one. I do like this one. You know, the pose is a bit odd, the faces maybe a little bit. I like the hair though. The hair is like really nice. And I think it's good drawing. It's just like I don't know, maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it being like a bit off-putting is like intentional because you know it is a horror book. But I love that red background. I love you know the blood red eyes, and of course like I love like I mean she's spilling out of that top man. But like I'm contractually obligated to not complain about that. We got cover C, which is going to be by Anton Tarlov, who's the artist and the colorist. So fantastic one right here. Whew, I like this one. This is foiled and embossed. It's got like a nice shootout there. Yeah, I got Ripa HQ there. Let's see. And then I believe, yeah, cover D is going to be Deborah Carita. And the black and white, there's going to be a black and white. Issue number 1 had black and white, which I prefer the colored edition to the black and white. But yeah, we'll take a look at cover D right now. And this is by Deborah Carita. Of course, Deborah Carita is the artist on Yaira. She does a fantastic job with Yaira, and she really knocks it out of the park with this one. This is fantastic. God, I forget the name of her dragon. I should remember. Is it Othello? Is the name of her shadow dragon? I believe it's Othello. Let's see. But this is a lot of detail. This is definitely the best cover. So this is absolutely. Yeah, Othello. Yes. Okay, I got it right. Yes, I did it. I remembered her. I remember the dragon's name. Because I don't know, maybe it's because I read the books. It's so that way I know. But nobody reads these books, guys. So like I couldn't possibly have known that. But anyways, so but yeah, this is a fantastic cover. I just gotta say, this is like it's so stylized, but it's got that realism. This looks like a Frank Frazetta painting in terms of like its composition. And it's just like it's beautiful. So this being like cover D, like this is probably I don't know. There's been a lot of really good artwork for the Rippaverse, but this is probably like some of the best artwork I've seen for the Rippaverse. And that, like I said, that's saying a lot with the amount of like really cool stuff for the Rippaverse. I mean, look at like the art. Like I've got like I got art behind me. Poster art. I've got more in my kitchen. I've got the Zalen poster, which is really really cool. I love that Zalen poster. But it's in my kitchen, and I'm not gonna I can't just. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. Like, try and live stream my phone and show you the Zalen poster. But the Zalen poster by Kane White's really good. And I got some posters in my bedroom, Rippaverse. So it's all there's a lot of really good Rippaverse artwork, and this one being, like I said, me saying I think this is one of the best pieces of artwork with the Rippaverse. Like I said, that's saying something. But that's Blood Roof number 3. So we don't have Blood Roof number 2 in the hands, of the fans. So this is going to conclude the arc, which 3 books to an arc, I think is pretty good. Merkel Lounge is agreeing with us that cover D is the best one, hands down. I 100% agree with that. So there really isn't too much to say about Blood Roof number 3. Her brother Abel wants to protect her teacher, the one who always had her back, has fallen to forces beyond her understanding, and the memories of better times, the training sessions, the lessons learned may be the only thing keeping her from internal damnation. Let's see. So yeah, Rippa HQ, Blood Roof number 1 is so good. I had no problem pre-ordering both. Yeah, Blood Roof number 1 is a fantastic book. And actually, my review of Blood Roof number 1. Let's see. Yeah, so apparently Rippa HQ does shorts and Merc Lounge is shouting those out. That's cool. But yeah, Blood Roof number 1 is, I believe, it's still my most viewed video on my YouTube channel. I can check. You can check YouTube Studio. Let's see. I was like at 179, went down to 177. Now I'm back to 178. But that's, like I said, that is neither here nor there. Blood RUTH. Here we go. And I published this on February 28th, 2025, over a year ago at this point. My, how time flies. So yeah, 963 views, which is nice. Which is like, it's like nothing for in the grand scheme of things, but it's a lot for me. So yeah, it is my most watched YouTube video. And then after that is Horseman Welcome to Forest Park at 660. But 40 more views and it will get to 1,000. So I'm like, I'm not even sure how many views I have, because I've really fallen off on, like, I didn't do any reviews for February. Well, I need to do some reviews for March. Phenomenova is fulfilling this month, 1, 2, 3. So I got to do an overview for that. But there's some reviews I could definitely do and try and pump up the numbers. But I don't know with this whole. It's not like I don't think like there's going to be a draft or anything like that. And even if there was, like, I'm 20, I'll be 28, so I'm too old. I wouldn't be in like the first round of drafting. Like, things would have to get really bad for me to get drafted. But I don't know. Like, there is a war to go to. And it's like, oh, I don't know. It kind of sounds appealing. in my sick, twisted mind, it kind of sounds appealing. But there's like a lot of discord in my psyche, and I don't necessarily need to be like broadcasting that out to the internet. But anyways, I'm gonna X out of that. But I just wanted to check. Yeah, Blood Roof number 1 is my most watched review. I doubt Blood Roof number 2 will be like that. I think it was just like the right sort of storm of stuff happening. But yeah, man, that was over a year ago. Life was a lot different back then. So much has happened in that, like, in this year, like basically all 25, and then there's a bit of 26. Like 2026 so far has been I don't know, it's been a year. It's like, oh, it's barely into March. I'm like, yeah, it's been a disaster. But it's been, I don't know, it's been a disaster, but like I'm like, the things that need to happen are happening. That just doesn't feel good. But I've talked about that ad nauseum. But we were going on to the next one, which is Detention Crew Part 2. So Detention Crew Part 2. This is very simple. So Blood Roof number 3 has the most, like, amount of options, but even then it's just CGC covers, which I didn't get the CGC covers. I have officially ran out of my $1,000 store credit. Like, I blew through it. So I had to buy, but I did get all of this. So now I'm back to having to, genocide my wallet. If I could, I don't care anymore. But yeah, so Blood Roof. So Blood Roof number 3, basically her trying to save Abel. We got 32 flavors of Nick Weiser in the chat. I'm sure you're going to lurk for this, but it's really nice to see you. Hopefully you guys are having, or hopefully you're having a good one, you and the family. Oh man, like freaking neck. Oh, neck sore. Yeah, this is indicative of me. It's not going to get. It's only downhill from here. I'm basically. I don't know. I feel like I got one foot in the grave already, man. I'm not even 30 yet. Oh, it's like when I'm 40, I'm just gonna just roll over and just die. Oh man. Anyways, we got GDV8819 who's apologizing for being late. I think you're just on time. 32 flavors Nick Weiser, or I should just say Nick Weiser guy, covers A and D for Blood Roof 3, cover A of the Detention Crew Part 2. I got all the covers for everything. And you're going to order Hellbound next week. So yeah, no, I got all the orders. I got all my orders in somehow. So Detention Crew Part 2. I mean, this is really simple. So part 1, we meet a ragtag group of young heroes still figuring out their powers and place in the world. Now in part 2, the stakes rise as our crew faces the consequences of their choices and enemies closing in around them. Can they work together to overcome their foes or fall to their fears? 56 pager, which is nice. So this is cover A, and I think that's by Lucetti. That's Lucetti's cover. And then Brandon Ward is doing the, let's see, we can open the link in the tab, is the foiled and embossed covered. I think the foil covers are going to look sick for this batch of books. Yeah, no, I think they absolutely will. Apparently, yes, I'm a madman. So yeah, the thing is, Nick, I'm the Rippaverse guy. So like I gotta show off all these books. I guess I don't have to. There's no like I don't have any sort of like obligation. Like I didn't sign a contract with anybody. Be like, oh, I have to talk about this. I'm not on I'm not on Glenn Beck's payroll to be doing any of this stuff. I mean, honestly, I wish I was, because then my bank account wouldn't look so god awful after after putting those orders in. But no, I'm not being paid to do this. I haven't made a cent of money running Velvet Room Publishing. So which honestly, with how like bad my output is in terms of like the long form writing, the fact that like no one really reads anymore, I'm probably never going to make money off of Velvet Room Publishing, which is honestly it's okay. I'm a loser financially. I'm okay with that. I'm going to have to be a wagey. I mean, if I can become an electrician, that'd be cool. It's one of the reasons why I was thinking about joining the Marine Corps. Is just to like vastly reduce my living expenses. And even if I'm making like not that much cash in the Corps, you get the savings rate gets to increase drastically with like how much for it. So yeah. GDP is saying that we enjoy it. Yeah, I know I got a small audience, but you guys seem to like the content, especially Braxcast. It does it's got a lot of engagement. So you guys tune in for the live streams, you guys watch the recorded episodes, and the reviews. When I do them, most people do seem to like those. I got to do more comic book reviews. And there are people. Does anyone here go and follow the Substack, the daily poll? Because there are people who I don't know, still tune into that. Still tune into it, but it gets some views, and like the podcast, you Mike Has Bad Music, the one I did on Thursday was good commentary, which hopefully it was. Oh yeah, it doesn't use Substack. Yeah, but I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see the polls, but it's just a link to the Substack post. But GDV, I would recommend you follow me on Substack. If you want to support, that'd be a great way to support me. So and you get all the content there that I post on YouTube. But if you don't use Substack, you don't use Substack. So not that big of a deal. But 2 covers for the Detention Crew, and really Detention Crew number 1 is going to be the introduction, and number 2 is just expanding on that. So since I haven't read number 1, none of you, unless Andrew's in the chat, I'm sure he has. If the Soskas, of course they wrote it, so they've read it, they know what happens. But for us, uninitiated outside of the Rippaverse, they have not read this, so I can't really say anything like, oh yeah, so one is just going to introduce characters, and then two is going to build on an introduction, which I mean it makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited for it. So we'll see how that goes. But we do have an entirely new, and get that out of there. So this is a Western set in the past of the Rippaverse. This is the Hellbound Stagecoach. We got Student of God in the chat. Absolutely fire to see you in here. Again, 284 people in the chat. So let's see. I got no idea why. Let's see. Yeah, so Hellbound Stagecoach sounds very cool. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like honestly, it sounds kind of like Hateful Eight. So like, is it only a two-part story? I'm not sure if Detention Crew is only a two-part story. I think it could be like a three-parter. But we can let's see. Detention Crew Part 1. Here we go. And this launched December 14th. So, man. Yeah, December was a good month. December was a better month than January. Let's see. Anyways, call to action. I don't think it says anything about yeah, no, I don't think it says anything about it being like a well, we can go and but I'm not sure if it really says anything about it being a like a two-parter. I probably would be a three-parter. But I don't think there's any like thing definitive on like in the collection of like, oh, it's going to be two parts, oh, it's going to be three parts, but it's probably going to be a three-parter. With the way they're talking about it, like one is going to establish, two is going to build on that establishment, and then three is probably going to be the conclusion. You know, classic three-act story structure. I imagine that's how it's going to be, but you not quote me on that. You can at the Soska Sisters, and they might tell you, unless you know they are under NDA. So we've got Hellbound Stagecoach, we've got Jebediah the Jackal Jones, we've got Sawyer the Hyena Nash, the Wild Dogs gang. So the Wild Dogs are wanted men after a train robbery goes sideways. The gang is wounded, hunted, and running out of options. Their leader, Jebediah Jackal Jones, stumbles across a job too good to pass up. Escort a woman named Charity Bloodroof. Hoo boy! And her stagecoach across the endless desert for $50,000. The townspeople call her a witch and warn travelers to stay away, but Jebediah isn't a man of superstition, and 50 racks, 50 racks is 50 racks, right? What waits for them on that journey will test everything the Wild Dogs thought they knew about survival, loyalty, and the forces that lurk beyond the mortal world. This is Soska Sisters with interior art by Rippafest winner Philip Burnett. So this one must have started work on it because the Rippafest winner was announced. See my tweet flying under the radar. Let's go and pull up the tweet. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. We'll go ahead and remove. Stop the screen. Share screen. Student of God. Oh yeah, also no, we'll do share the system audio. And then it's going to tell me that like you will share their audio if I have a guest, but I don't have a guest because I'm such a loner. I don't know. I honestly I like it's super toxic, but I love being antisocial. Like I love having my own place and not seeing anybody. Like I am so bad at talking to people. But anyways, we're going to get to the because soon we've got posting some Comicsgate stuff. We don't want to get into that, but we're going to get into this.
Soska titles that we announced today. Which one are you most not which one's your favorite? Which one are you most curious about the fan response to when they get it into their hands? Because those are two different things, right? We can have our own preconceptions and our own preferences and things like that. I personally love just what the twins do with the Bloodruth family in general. But like, what do you think is going to garner the most interesting response from the fans?
I think the Tension Crew, just because it's not something that they've done before. So that's the one I'm mostly interested in getting
Mhm.
like fan feedback on, especially parents, and making sure that it's kosher as far as I can tell.
Okay, so yeah, so part two it says concludes. So this is a two-parter. So I was wrong in saying it's a three-parter. So it says concludes the Twisted Twins all ages superhero adventure. And then it's going to say with 50. But we'll check this one out. We'll go through this one and then we will watch the rest. We got Evoing Music, who's sorry for being late. It's okay. Never apologize for being late again. Honestly, the fact that you guys even watch these streams at all, like, surprise, like, you guys really should have like stuff that, like, better things to do than watch some loser sitting in his apartment live streaming about comic books. This is a condemnation that, like, I do, like, again, I could be out socializing, having a lot, maybe meet a woman who could be one. No, I forego all of that for you guys, so I can live here. Like, and again, I was talking about like how antisocial I am. Like, I wouldn't want to do this anyway. Like, I wouldn't want to. What am I going to go out to like a bar and try and like hit on a woman? Like, get off of that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I drink water. I don't drink beer. I drink water. Yeah, but anyways, but no, it's really nice that you showed up at the live. But I don't have, like, I'm strict with myself with starting on time. That's what I like to do. There's only one stream where I didn't start on time. Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. So we're going to get into this. So we went over Bloodruth number 3. Those covers, cover D being the best. We went over the Tension Crew. We're starting to cover Hellbound Stagecoach, but then Soon of God came in the chat and he redirected me to this tweet about the Tension Crew. So we're kind of like going back onto the Tension Crew. So we're going to go watch this video. We want to apologize. You stop calling yourself a. Yeah, that's just, it's so ingrained. I was going through my high school yearbook and there was a girl who wrote it. And I was like, you're a really smart and funny guy. I'm paraphrasing. It's like, please stop saying you want to die. I'm like, oh, that's sad, man. But I've been like this for years, man. Yeah, I used to be a lot worse. Like, back in, I was really bad in high school. And I'm slightly better, but oh no, I'm going through it. But that's, like I said, I'm not going to broadcast all my freaking problems. That's inspirational. I'm not sure what exactly is inspirational, but anyways, let's go keep watching this video.
But again, it's, I've never seen them write it before, so it's really interesting because I thought it was good and you thought it was good, and so now we just have to find out if the fans think it's good. And so that's like the one where I'm like, I wonder what they think about it.
That's always an interesting thing in publishing, where you could have. It's good to have a number
So
of
that's like
checks
the one
of different
where I'm
people
like, I
getting
wonder
eyes
what
on
they think
something
about
and
it.
getting their opinion. Hey, do I like this? Do I think this is good? Do I think this is going to do well and land with its target audience? But you could have 16 different levels of checks of people saying, hey, yeah, I think this is good. I think people are going to like this. At the end of the day, when those people get it into the hands, do they actually like it? Right? There's kind of that nervous facet to it, right? Where you just, at the end of the day, you don't know. You could have done all your research. You could be confident in, what target demographic you were aiming for and thinking you landed that. At the end of the day, your audience is going to decide whether or not you succeeded or didn't. Right?
Yeah.
wi- that's a struggle I'm sure you had with Dirty Deeds. I know I had it with Blue Shift Tryouts, and though you've been able to get feedback for at least the short story, I wonder if established writers like the Soskas, like Chuck Dixon, you know, have that same anxiety each time, especially at least if it's with a new IP, right? You have an established one where you have your fans, right? The Soskas put out another issue of Yaira, but they put out another issue of Bloodruth. And there's some established base there already. They kind of know what to expect.
Mhm.
You have an established audience. And so maybe there's less of a worry, or I wonder if maybe there's even more of a worry sometimes. Maybe it's a
Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, Detention Crew being like the least selling book because the current age demographic is a little like I'm going to be 28 and I personally, I mess with Detention Crew. I think it looks cool, but this is definitely one that's aimed for the younger demographic. And when I talked about the Detention Crew, there was a lot of you guys saying, I don't like this art style, it doesn't jive with me. So that was the impression that I got. And this is one that, like, if I was going to be like selective and saying, like, hey, if there's a book I was going to skip out on, it probably would have been Detention Crew. But since like I've established I'm the Rippaverse guy, I'm not Rippa guy, but like I'm the guy that like reads every single Rippaverse book and reviews it and talks about it on live stream and the recorded episodes of Braxcast. So like I'm kind of not contractually obligated, but like the content demands that I do this. But I'm also like, I do that because like I'm a genuine fan of the Rippaverse. So like I'm a super fan of the Rippaverse. So I buy everything the Rippaverse does. This includes the Detention Crew. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the response to the Detention Crew is. When I review it, I say, hey, this is a really good book, guys. I know it's like a bit kiddie, but it is. Yeah. So Merkland is saying, I'm the Rippaverse guy. Maybe. Honestly, I honestly would say you are. Definitely are. Your takes are really good. You can watch more of your videos, but the videos I watch of yours are really in depth and well thought out. So you definitely are one of the Rippaverse guys. But there is Rippa guy. I haven't seen him make content in a long time. I think he's got a family though. I'm single, so yeah. So Robert gets it. This is what everybody's saying. Losers don't outside, let alone hike, and girls don't write compliments in the yearbooks. They also don't do nice live stream for the boys. Yes. Yeah, no, I need to get back to hiking. It's just a job. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not. Honestly, I could go to work tomorrow. It's optional to work on Saturdays. I'm probably not. Yeah. Oh man, the work situation is not fun. But like if I get to, but I want to do a bunch of. I didn't get to go skiing this winter. But there was someone I was going. It was this person. She's like, I could get us like ski passes for our work. And she wanted to go skiing with me. It was part of the mixed signals. Very confusing. But anyways, yeah. So GDV went skiing a lot. But yeah, no, I don't think no, because it's March. There's a couple more weeks. It was snowing. There's a place that's right by me that's got a bunch of money, but there's a good one that's an hour north of me. When I went and I hiked Mount Tecumseh, and let's see if I can't find. Yeah, Mount Tecumseh didn't have any good. It didn't have any like when I got to the summit. The summit was not like it didn't have a good view. But I got to the top. It was like it was just over 4,000 feet. Which if Mike is in the chat. It's like, oh, 4,000 feet. That's a hill. It's got to be like 12,000 feet for it to even be considered a real mountain because I live in Colorado. They're mountain snobs up there. But anyways, yeah, but I definitely want to do more hikes. Like, I got to go back and do Garfield in the spring. Yeah, I think he lives in Colorado. I'm not sure if he's from Colorado, but I know he lives in Colorado. Yeah, he is. Yeah, mountain snob. Yeah. But I like the hills up here. So it's the White Mountain National Forest, which is I think King Cryptid is like an indie comic series, and it takes place in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. So. Yeah, and in Breaking Bad, Walt hides in New Hampshire. It's probably like, in the North Country. He's probably somewhere in Coos County. Yeah, I don't know. It could even be like around like Claremont or something like that. Because like you can go like a lot of New Hampshire is just sticks. really, there's Manchester, there is like Concord and Nashua. Those are more urban places, and like the towns surrounding. So like, you got like Hooksett and Auburn. Seacoast is honestly pretty, like Portsmouth is decent, decently urban. So it's like southern New Hampshire is like where like that region of southern New Hampshire that like borders like Mass and Maine is where you'll have like civilization. Basically, the rest of it just sticks, which is wonderful. Like you go up to like in the North Country, it just sticks. I love it. It's beautiful, man. Yeah, God, I want to move up there. It's just so confusing to move up there. There's only one church I'd go to, and it would be very to go there consistently. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. But like I want to. It's just that like the economic. So if I become an electrician, then like I could just do that job anywhere, and that's what I want to do. So it might take me like a little bit of time to do that, but really what I want to do is build a homestead up north and never talk to people again. That's what I want to do. Which is one of the reasons, like, I just become a Marine, become an electrician for the Corps, go back, get an apartment in like Lancaster or something like that. Maybe, well, I'm not saying Berlin, but whatever. Lancaster or Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh has apartments, but anyways, and then buy land and then start building out a homestead over the course of like a couple of months. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd have to get like stuff like a snowmobile and stuff like that. It's just a logistical challenge to build a homestead in a place with harsh winters. Like doing it, in like Texas, it actually would be pretty easy, especially like, southern Texas won't have to deal with, winters. It's just that like up here in the north, you get harsh winters. Temperatures in the negatives. You get a lot of snow very consistently, and especially when you're out in the sticks, you're going to have to like plow your own roads, and it'll be where like roads are impassable by cars, so you'll need a snowmobile. To get to and from places. So if we want to like, if I'm on the homestead, I want to like, let's say leave to go like a town over to get like, let's say I have a PO box to check it. I'd have to like get like a freaking bulldozer or something like that, or like a heavy duty snowblower to dig the freaking car out to do that. But honestly, it's one of the reasons why if I had a homestead, I probably would want like a horse to like go around the property. That'd be cool. Let's see. So GDV saying is from West Virginia. Wish we had the Colorado mountains here, but we'll take what I can get. Yeah, I don't know. Appalachia. So it's the same. Like the Appalachian mountain ranges goes from like that region, like around West Virginia, it goes all the way up north to where I'm at. So you've got like the Catskills and the Green Mountains in Vermont. And I don't know. It's beautiful. Yeah, sure. Like, would it be cool to be, up above the clouds? Yeah, sure would be, but I was on the let's see if I can show you guys. I'll see if I can find it, but I hiked Monadnock back in October. But I mean, I can show this is one I want. Let's see. Let's see. Share screen, window. Boom. Here we go. So this is so we can go ahead and you guys can see this. This is from that was a picture of but yeah, these are just pictures of when I went hiking Mount Garfield. And this was all let's see, careful with the snowplow that took out the Hawkeye. Let's see. Yeah, West Virginia has some great spots. So no, this is the hike where like I really risked my so This was I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but this is from like my car. It said -10 degrees. So when I was driving out there, it was like a 2 hour drive. So I just saw like negative. I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? But then like I got there, I was like, I spent 2 hours driving up here. I'm doing this. So I went, I did it. I was out there for like 8 hours in temperature like that. I was delirious by the time I got in the car, and I was like, I had to spend like all my time under the covers just like warming up. Like it took me like probably like a day and a half to get warm. I was like, I'll never feel warm again. But I managed to feel warm again. But anyways, I'm gonna keep on going through because this is not the let's see, it's not necessarily the picture I wanted to find. Um, let's see. Let's see. I wanted to find when I hiked Monadnock because Monadnock was I had a much better view. But yeah, Adelaide was saying yeah, it was too cold. So that was like the one where like I had talked about it and I was like, yeah, I'm almost dead. And I didn't even get to the summit. I was so freaking close. I was like 0.2 miles, but the thing was, it was like 3 feet of snow. So I was post holing really consistently. That's where like you put your entire leg and just goes through. And if I was a shorter man, I would not have been able to have gotten out. Let's see. Take a lady next time to keep you. No, there was one lady that went like hiking. She would not have gone with me. In fact, she was like, "You were crazy for going out that time." I was like, "That was a mistake." I was like, "You know what? I had to do it." But yeah, no, I don't think she wants to go hiking with me. We used to be on that. We had plans to, but it just didn't work out between us. Because like I saw it one way, she saw it another way. I don't know, maybe one day, but that day is not today. But anyways, when I went hiking when I went and I hiked Monadnock, that was a beautiful view. It was so wonderful. Well, let's see if I can't. I'll see if I can because I texted my mom pictures. Let's see if in West Philadelphia, born and raised. Let's see. Anyways, I guess I don't know. Did you have phone signal out there? It was like really iffy. Like, but like you can take the pictures without, it's of an offline function using the camera. But no, I wouldn't really have like phone signal, and like the phone wouldn't know where like I'm at, where I was at. This is so freaking fantastic. But no, when you're out in the sticks, like you don't really get reception. Yeah, be careful. That's what I heard, is be careful going alone. So yeah, when I went out that day, I was the only person on the trail. Like there was nobody else out there because it was a cold snap. It was the day before a blizzard. So everybody else was like doing the logical thing, staying indoors, hunkering down, not going outside. And then I was like, I'm going to hiking. I'm doing it alone. And that's the thing is that like, I probably ought to, tell people and plan it out and let people know, but I don't care, man. I'm gonna live life on the edge. And just go out into the woods alone. First time I went and I hiked Monadnock, I got lost off the trail. So it's probably out in the woods for like 20-30 minutes, completely lost. And I made my way back to the trail. Yeah, that was my dad. It's okay, Roberto. But when my grandmother was still alive, she was like, "Oh, you should tell somebody," because when she was like, "Oh, I used to talk on CB radio. My nickname was Worry Wart." Yeah, it's dad mood. Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah. So I mean, I understand that it's not like an illegitimate thing to say, but it's just like, I really, I don't know. I like engaging in risk taking behavior, and this is my risk taking behavior. Wait, where's the Rippaverse talk? Actually, yes, we're going to get to the Rippaverse talk. We're not going to talk about my hiking exploits anymore. Or at least, I mean, if you guys like it, what we talk about. But we're going to talk about the Hellbound Stagecoach. So this is basically like it's a Bloodroof. I'd say Bloodroof family origin story, but this is going to be covering. We've got Charity Bloodroof. Charity is sort of like a Christian name. But we'll go over these covers and then let's see. So this is cover A by Kane White with Marcos Martin. So this is a fantastic cover. I mean, I love Caden's artwork. I love that logo there. And then we've got cover B, which is by Cliff Richards and Marcos Martins. And we can see this is basically the launched poachers. We got the Jebediah, the Jackal, the Wolf, Wyatt Star, Sawyer, Nash, the Hyena. We've got Levi, the Coyote, Cassidy. We've got Maverick, the Fox, Lockhart, and then Stagecoach Escort for Charity Bloodroof, Departure at Dawn, $3,000 reward. So yeah, so Philip Burnett, who is the winner of the Rippa Fest, is getting the interior artwork for this, which is really, really cool. I always love hearing about the hiking exploits, but I'm ADD as AF and like cool people and their stories. Apologies all around. No, it's all good. Yeah, I always get into tangents, but yeah, I definitely am going to do more hikes. I got to redo Garfield in the spring when I could actually like drive up I think it was Gale Mountain Road, if I remember correctly, because like that road is closed during the winter, so you have to go. It adds like 2 miles to the hike, just to get to the trip. Whereas like the spring and the summer, you could just drive, right up there, park your car right by the trail, and it's a pretty easy one. It's pretty flat. Yeah. So Merck's going to choke me for distracting me again. But yeah, no, that was an easy one. It's just that like in the snow. It makes it a lot harder. And of course, when it's like in the negatives, it also like makes it a lot like more difficult just to like live when you're in that temperature. Because like your body is just like trying to not freeze to death. So yeah, let's see. You think we're going to get an ISOM 4 announcement at MegaCon? So yeah, MegaCon should be coming up soon. Mark, and it's also, I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat, so nice to see you in the chat. And I did put in a test chat. Like you can chat on Twitter. Like it does allow you to do that. Like if you click on the video. Let's see. Eric said if ISOM 4 gets announced, it'll be till the end of this year. So yeah, I think ISOM 4, our ISOM is going to be on a bit of a break, which I mean, I would love to see ISOM 4. ISOM number 3 was like a really good ending to the ill-advised arc, and I'd love to see like how it gets continued. But it's not. I don't think they're really like that focused on it. So so we've got cover C. This is by Eddie Souza and Prasad Rao, who's doing the cover. So this is a fantastic cover. Absolutely love this one. But I don't know. I think cover A is like, I don't know. These are all great covers. Cover C is definitely got the most going on. I like cover B for that, like, let's see, that one. We got Andrew in the chat, Caffeinated Wolf, finally laying off of the boxed wine to come into the chat. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. If Andrew, if you want, if you want to invite Link, you can always DM me on Discord and I'll send it out to you. I was planning on, I don't know, ending relatively soon because it'd be nice to get some sleep and such. Let's see, C-Dub. Let's see here. But anyways, yeah, but that is covering basically all the free books. So we went through all the covers. So Hellbound Stagecoach is probably the one of these I'm the most interested in because this is going to be like a like going into Charity Bloodroof, going into like the past of the Rippaverse is going to be really cool. are any of the wild dogs accepts. That's an interesting thing. So of course, Charity Bloodroof will be an accept, and how that's going to factor in. But I feel like Jebediah, um, does Jebediah get with Charity, and is that how the bloodline continues? I feel like it could be. I'm just saying. Let's see, cooking dinner at the moment, but I appreciate you. No, it's all good. Okay, so you just keep on cooking dinner. So Isom, like the Roman Reigns of Rippaverse, he shows up once every blue moon, but when he does, it's a hit every time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Let's see, Roman Reigns. Roman, like Roman Reigns. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, signed to WWE, like a wrestler. And that's like a freaking man. 265. Oof. Let's see. But yes, that is I guess it's a decent assessment. But yeah, Isom is much less the focus. So when the Reverse first launched back in 22, almost 4 years ago at this point. My God, how time flies. Of course, Isom was the focus because it was the book that launched the Rippaverse. Isom 2 continued with the Rippaverse, but then after Isom 2, of course, it took us some time. We got Isom 3, but after Isom 2, the focus was less on Isom. It became more about expanding the Rippaverse. And now, since Isom 3 is out, the Ill-Advised arc is done. There are far more books that are not Isom than are Isom. So let's see. Which I really like. Not that I dislike Isom, but there's just like much more to the Rippaverse than Isom. So it's not the Isom verse. Yeah, Rippa HQ saying we need more Zalen. Yeah, a Zalen. I don't think they can justify an ongoing series for Zalen, but like I would like a 3 to 4 issue series of Zalen. He definitely earns that. See, now I'm responding to HQ. Yes, I 100% agree with that. Like a 3 to 4 issue series of Zalen would be pretty good. I think Chuck and Joe are focused on Horseman and Alpha Core and pumping up those stories or getting those farther along. So maybe we'll see like after number 4 is up for pre-order, then we'll start to see like some more Zalen. But I would like a mini series for Zalen. If that like takes a while to come out to focus on Horseman and Alpha Core, I'd be okay with that. Hopefully, you guys will be okay with that as well. But yeah, more Zalen. I am reiterating. Always got to reiterate this: is that a young Isom series with Jack Herbert needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, my support for the Rippaverse hinges on this. So again, Eric, if you're watching this and you're like, I like Joker's Braxcast content, it all ends if you do not get Jack Herbert to do a young Isom series. I don't need Eric July to write it. It would be cool if he did, but I just need Jack Herbert to be the artist on it. I think periodic Zalen one-shot graphic novels makes the most sense to me, but it's not my call. Yeah, but like to me, I like a mini series, like a 3 to 4 issue mini series that gives us a lot of Zalen, and then we can leave it for a while, and then you could have like the one shots that like go on from that basis on as ad hoc basis. That's the word I was looking for. I could be, I'm not the one to make that call either, but that's what I would do if I was the guy to make the calls. Well, what do I know? But anyways, we live streamed for about an hour. Like I said, we covered basically just about everything. Went on my hiking tangent. I didn't talk about Garfield. I guess was lurking, and he wasn't trying to like ask me like, what do you think of like Diocletus, or what do you think of the Punic Wars, or anything like that. Let's see. So who opens for Norfolk when they tour? That's an interesting question. Want that book. You're talking about Zalen, you're talking about like Norfolka. But yeah, who would open for Norfolka? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure Eric has put thought into that. But anyways, Bloodroot number 3. Can't really get too deep into detail of that since we don't have Bloodroot number 2. Yesfrika is opening for Norfolk Guy. That's a good pun. I like that pun. That's a nice pun. And then Detention Crew Part 2 is going to conclude Detention Crew. But we don't have Detention Crew Part 1, so I can't really say that much. But Hellbound Stagecoach as being like not an origin story for the Bloodroof, but exploring the Bloodroof's past and the Wild West. That's chef's kiss. So Hellbound Stagecoach is probably like the one I'm most excited for of these 3, with like all that lore that we are for sure going to get. And then it's Bloodroof number 3 to continue with the Bloodroof story. And then Detention Crew Part 2, knowing that like that whole series is going to like end and be cool, but like Detention Crew is one that like I'm not unhyped for. Like, you know, it's going to be cool. But it's one that like I'm not super like it's not like I'm so excited for it. But there are some interesting things with Detention Crew that I want to see explored. So it's nice to see that we're getting that like 100 pages or so. So Robert Villacava is asking me what percentage of the 126 books do you think are going to be new titles, and what percentage do you think are going to be on established titles? So I think the 100 titles are between Rip Ascend and Rip Verse. And I would imagine it's going to be like 80% are going to be like, you know, we'll say like 80% of the Rippaverse books that come out are going to be like their own, you know, thing. Like we've had that with Detention Crew is like a 2-parter. You know, of course, like Hellbound Stagecoach, you know, Saoirse number. I mean, we probably, honestly, decent chance we get Saoirse number 2 by the end of this year. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I'd say there's a decent chance we get that. You know, we probably will get like some more Gooding. So I imagine like most of them are going to be their own thing. So I'm not sure if it would be 80, but I imagine it's going to be somewhere in that like 65 to 80% range will be their own like new books. And then a decent amount of them are going to be like continuation. So we've already seen that. So we're getting we're getting Bloodroof number 3 and Alpha Core number 3. We're getting you know, one of the books is Detention Group Part 2, right? So we're getting let's see if we can go to the pre-orders. You know, we're getting like, you know, more Ripazines, right? Getting Horseman number 3. We're getting you know, going to be you know, new. Yeah, so I mean, Ira Frost and Ruin is like kind of, you know, it's like it's an in between. I read Zeon again some time ago and liked it, which surprised because I remember not liking it, but did enjoy some parts. But I didn't like it as much that I need to have another issue of it. You know, I want more Zeon. I think Zeon is an interesting character. He's worth exploring. You know, that book from an artistic point of view, just the coloring was just so good. And of course, Joe always knocks it out of the park with the 2-page spreads. So Zeon's a good book. I don't think it's a bad book at all. So I definitely want more Zalen, but I don't want Zalen to take priority over Alpha Core and Horseman, because those are ongoing series. They've been committed to being ongoing series, and it's by the same team. So if Joe has to take like a significant break to do more Zalen, then he shouldn't do more Zalen. So like I said, I think doing a mini series when Alpha Core and Horseman are more established, I think would be the way to go. So like I said, sometime after like it between like issue 4 and 5, I think Chuck and Joe should focus on doing like a Zalen miniseries, or at least like another Zalen one shot. Because I think most people who read Zalen had really good impressions of it. And if you've read Gyra number 3, Should I say? But anyways, Zalen has like his implication, like he's not going to like not appear in the reverse. Like he's not like disconnected, floating out in space. Like he's going to be part of the Rippaverse. So I think it would be justified for him to have like his character to be explored in his own mini series or another one shot. But that is my opinion. But anyways, anything else, guys? Because I've been going for about an hour now. I think I will leave it there then. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Going to do a Braxcast recorded episode. Will be 104 tomorrow for Saturday. But I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Joker is out.